Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to a journey of self-love and empowerment. Today, we're diving deep into the concept of self-love and how it has transformed over the years. We've come a long way, haven't we? From the restrictive norms of the past to the freedom we embrace today. Imagine telling a Victorian lady to live her truth and prioritize her well-being. She'd probably faint from the shock. Back then, self-love meant fitting into a corset that could double as a medieval torture device. Ouch! The idea of comfort was a distant dream. Can you imagine prioritizing a hot bath and a good book when society demanded you be perfectly proper and poised at all times? Self-care was practically a foreign language back then, something unheard of and almost scandalous. Thank goodness times have changed. Today, we celebrate self-care in all its forms. We've traded those tight corsets for yoga pants and self-help books, embracing a lifestyle that promotes well-being and happiness. Don't get me wrong, progress takes time. It's a journey, not a destination. We're still figuring this whole self-love thing out, learning and growing every day. But hey, at least we're trying, right? Supporting each other and building a community of love and acceptance. Now let's journey through the ages and see how this whole self-love thing has evolved. From the past to the present and into the future, let's celebrate the progress we've made and the road ahead. Okay, let's rewind to the Victorian era. Picture this: fainting couches, repressed emotions, and rules. Self-expression, not so much. Women were expected to be perfect homemakers, wives, and mothers. Their worth was often tied to their ability to fulfill these societal expectations. Talk about pressure. Self-love in this era often meant adhering to strict social norms. It meant suppressing your own desires for the sake of appearances. Exhausting, right? But let's give them some credit. They were dealing with a whole different set of societal pressures. Fast forward a few decades and bam! The world was changing at a rapid pace. The Roaring '20s burst onto the scene like a flapper at a jazz club, bringing with it a whirlwind of excitement and change. Talk about a breath of fresh air. Women were done with the restrictive Victorian rules and ready to embrace something new. They bobbed their hair, danced the Charleston, and embraced a newfound sense of freedom that was both exhilarating and liberating. This era was all about pushing boundaries and expressing individuality. Women were no longer content to stay in the shadows. Sure, it wasn't perfect, but it was a step in the right direction. Conversations about progress and change were happening everywhere. Women were starting to realize their worth beyond societal expectations. They were discovering their independence and what it meant to truly be free. They were beginning to understand that self-love meant embracing their own desires and dreams, no matter how unconventional they might seem. Now that's what I call progress. The 1920s were a time of celebration, hope, and a newfound sense of self for women everywhere. Now let's talk about self-love in the 21st century. It's a concept that's been evolving, and it's more relevant now than ever before. We've come a long way, baby, from the days of rigid societal norms to a more inclusive and accepting world. We're finally starting to understand that self-love isn't selfish. It's essential. We're embracing body positivity, prioritizing mental health, and recognizing the importance of taking care of our minds and bodies, and setting boundaries like never before. Boundaries are not just about saying no. They're about knowing our limits and respecting them. We're learning to say no without guilt, understanding that it's okay to prioritize our own needs and well-being, and to put ourselves first. Self-care isn't just a buzzword. It's a vital practice for maintaining our overall health. But let's be real. Self-love is a journey, not a destination. It's a continuous process of growth and self-discovery. There will be good days and bad days, moments of triumph and moments of struggle, moments of doubt and moments of pure self-acceptance. It's all part of the journey. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. Embracing our imperfections and celebrating small wins is what makes the journey worthwhile. The important thing is to keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving to be the best version of ourselves. And keep loving ourselves through it all. Self-love comes in many forms, and it's unique to each individual. So tell me, beautiful souls, what does self-love mean to you? Is it taking time for yourself, setting boundaries, or maybe something else entirely? Share your thoughts. Let's inspire each other on this journey called life. Together, we can create a community of support and understanding. Until next time, stay heartful, stay soulful from your friends at Heart and Soul.